Hey, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. I thought I would film outside today. Number one, because it's pretty warm and it's sunny. Number two, I get a chance to earth. I don't know if you can see my bare feet here, but I get a chance to earth. And the third is my husband's doing 250 push-ups to rap music inside. So, so you can hear me. I thought I'd come out here. All right, so back to business. So this past week or so has been very pregnant with the energies surrounding the death of George Floyd, and here in America, as well as around the world, people are protesting and sometimes breaking into riots and things like that. Now, I actually did a YouTube video that I posted a few days ago related to this, and it was around the ways in which people can be manipulated through the media. So anytime that something is happening and people are reacting to, that's usually my clue to step aside and look at the big picture and check my own reactions and feel into what's really going on. And that's the benefits of becoming more and more empathic, as you are as well. The thing is there's a double-edged sword, right? As you become more spiritually gifted, more empathic, more aware, you can be more aware of things that are uncomfortable, including other people's emotions and reactions. So it really takes some training, and it's not hard. It just requires some consistency in order to deal with your own emotions and then step aside and see the bigger picture. So if you've been following me on Facebook, I've been doing some Facebook Lives on this particular topic, and what I've noticed is that if there is a lull in fear, global fear, there has to be some sort of event that brings it back up again. Now, one could argue, is this a concerted, planned way of getting people into fear, and if so, why? And if that were true, it would mean that something or someone is feeding off that fear and fear energy. Now, I know as a spiritual medicine doctor, as a light medicine doctor, that entities do feed off fear, and people with entities attached to them, and some of them are in places of high government and police, military, companies, big name companies. I mean, they it's not that uncommon, really. So can they be controlled by the entities that are attached to them, or do they enjoy even what they feel are benefits to the entities? And the answer is yeah, sometimes, absolutely. So how does one separate oneself from this kind of thing? Well, here's the thing. You can be a sovereign being, meaning that that you are not negatively affected by whatever's going on. At the same time, this is the cool part, as you do your own inner work, that creates a positive morphic field, or reinforces a positive morphic field of that peace, of that calm, of that work that you have just done. So some of my students have said on on Facebook, message me and say, hey, I'm getting exhausted here. Here I am trying to reveal the truth, change people's minds, doing all this work, sharing this, sharing that, and I'm getting exhausted. I don't feel good. And my answer to them is stop. Stop trying to change the world out here, because the world out here is a reflection of the world in here, and that we all are co-responsible, equally responsible for the death of George Floyd. Yes, I know this is not a popular stance. I know some people are going to really rebel, against what I'm saying. However, it is our collective consciousness which allows these things to happen. So you and I are equally 100% responsible for those deaths. And I'm not just saying him, but there are other people who died the same way. There's other people that died because of racism in the past and the future. And this really isn't about racism at all. It's really bringing to light what is now unacceptable, which, believe it or not, at some level we accepted it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. I know it's not popular, to say this. None of the other teachers I see, emailing people about this, Black Lives Matter, all this stuff. I mean, they're not saying any of the stuff that I'm saying, and that's okay. That's okay. But I'm going to say this to you. Now here's the cool news too, is that as people step back and go, wow, I'm going to stop trying to change the world out there, trying to change people's opinions out there, trying to force the truth down their throats or whatever, okay? And we turn back inwards into that space. We check in with ourselves. If we are happy, if we are joyful, if we are full of energy, if we're full of passion, and if we can access that stillness, that place where we can get into that being state of being connected to the creator, the 0 point, we can co-create a brand new reality together, a one that we do prefer. So if you're in that space, then you are already changing your outer world, the people around you, the people close to you, whether or not you think you are. So in other words, it's better to be in a space where you are repleted, where you feel good, where you have energy and vitality and you feel peaceful and calm within, because that sets up and reinforces a positive morphic field literally around you. And the more you are like that, the bigger this auric, morphic, beautiful field is. And that positively affects those around you. It may not be overnight, but it's amazing how fast it can be. And I'll show you that in a minute. So some people just feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. You know what? It's not about doing. I used to do a lot. I still do a lot. But the difference is I'm being while I'm doing now, and before I used to just do. When we just do, we do it the hard way. Now, do you want the hard way or do you want the easy way? Preferably the easy way for me, okay? So I have discovered through lots of stubbornness in myself that if I am being while I am doing, I get inspired with the right action, not the action that doesn't make any difference. So I make a bigger difference when I'm in that place of peace and joy and love, and a smaller difference when I'm struggling and pushing and trying and cajoling people and all that kind of stuff, which I used to do a lot of as a medical doctor, unfortunately. It is what it is. That's what it was, but now it's not. So I encourage you to really check in with yourself and be in your space. You honestly, you're gonna get pissed off at me saying this, but honestly, you have no right to try to push the truth on other people when you yourself are feeling depleted, you yourself are feeling anxious and depressed, because your morphic field is potentially infecting others, not affecting others in a positive way. Okay, there you go, I said it. So yes, be pissed off at me if you want to. What I encourage you to do is really look within, replete yourself, do whatever makes you happy and joyful. And some of us have an addiction when it comes to righteousness, and that's one of the issues that's causing death, literally death of other people. It doesn't matter what race. It's like all lives matter, right? So it's that righteousness that I'm right, you're wrong, that kind of thing. Give that up. Give that up. It's like no one knows absolutely for certain, but you have your own truth. I have my own truth. There's divine truth. We intersect at some point. So what can you do with this positive morphic field of you vibrating at the frequency of love, vibrating at the frequency of peace? You can do a heck of a lot, and I have proof. So we had two of our light warriors, Lisa and Patricia, talk about their towns having violence, riots, violence, all sorts of things. And so I was like, okay, we're going to do a little experiment here. I'm going to do a healing process. And we're going to use you as the lightning rod for that healing process, your morphic field for that. Because I don't live in your town. I live in my town. I know what my town looks like. I can visualize, I can imagine. It's so easy. Now, can I do that for your town specifically? Yeah, absolutely. But it's a heck of a lot easier if you do it with me. Because you know what you look like. You know what your place looks like. You know what other people look like in your town. You know what your town looks like, right? So if you're listening to this video after Thursday, June 4th, just so you know, that on Facebook I did a live called Peace Emerging Protocol. So the Peace Emerging Protocol, or PEP protocol, is where I'm going to do energy healing and show you how to do it, on how you create peace in your own environment, in your own town. And both Patricia and Lisa allowed me to use their testimonial to show you that it can be done, and it can be done quickly, overnight. Okay, so we go from violent, blah, horrible, to peaceful prayers, singing kumbaya. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is, do you believe it? Because if you don't believe it and you don't do it, well, I can only help you so much, right? But if you're like, I might be willing to believe it, and then you do it, that's a whole other story. And I encourage you to be in that space of curiosity. Think of it as an experiment. So if you are watching this before 4:30 on Thursday, we are going to be live on Facebook Live on my Facebook profile to do that group healing. And I will need you there, whether it be on the live or on the replay. So if you didn't catch it live, you can watch the replay. You are going to do it with me. So as I instruct you through that healing process, that peace emerging protocol, you are going to do it with me, because you are going to be like the lightning rod, okay, that light enhances your town and your space. Because I cannot physically be there with you, all of you, whoever's watching, at the same time, nor am I planning to fly to each of your towns in order to do the healing work there. So I need you there as the lightning rod to receive and amplify the healing so we can create peace in a much bigger way. So I'm going to post my Facebook profile link below, below the video here on YouTube. Is going to be below. And you know, I'm just going to share with you that event. And if you're watching this afterwards, I will update the YouTube video, so you will find that video as well. And in fact, I think I'll actually save it and upload it to YouTube separately as well. So if you're on to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which if you're not, do that now. If you're subscribed to it, then we'll actually upload that for you as well, so that you'll have that. And please share that, because you know what? It's free, first of all. And second thing, it works. We have proof. It works. You know, works for 2 people. It was just like 2 nights ago. I really want you to be the next testimonial to tell me how it worked in your town. Not because it's like, wow, this is so great, Topican healing's so great. No. It's because you're so great. Because you did it. And you committed to that. So I look forward to working with you on this, whether on live or on the replay, on the Peace Emerging Protocol. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. So a couple of announcements. Number one is that if you didn't already hear, the 5G Telesummit is going on. So I'll repost that link down below if you're interested in learning more about 5G. The second thing, and because knowledge is power, especially when there's action that comes after that. And the second thing I want to tell you about is Monday's radio show. So Monday, June 8th, 2020, I will be airing the pre-recorded interview between me and Ken Rolla of freshandalive.com. Now, Ken is a super smart, genius guy, sort of like my friend David Schmidt from LifeWave. And he actually made some really amazing inventions that can really help us. Instrumentation, you know, tools that we can use to minimize the negative effects of stressful things in our life, including toxins, different kinds of toxicity, including electromagnetic toxicity. So without giving away all the goodies, please join me on the show. We're going to air it live on Monday at 12 noon on Light Warrior Radio. I'll post the link near this video so you can watch that. So at 12 noon it's going to air, and I highly recommend that you also share that with friends and family who are like-minded, who are interested in holistic wellness, healing, becoming more resilient in the face of whatever toxicities are coming our way. So last but not least, just want to reiterate that you are a beacon of peace, and as you are peaceful, that sets up that positive morphic field that others can be as well around you. So you are powerful, and I want you to remember that. Until next time, bye for now. I'll see you next week.